Okay guys, what we're going to talk about today is going to be classifying numbers, classifying rational numbers. So you're going to take your paper that you got and you're going to fold it over and stop before you cover up classifying rational numbers. Fold it. You're going to glue this into your spiral, okay? Glue this new page, this new foldable into your spiral. All right, let's open this up and let's go to the left side and let's define these things. I'm going to start with whole numbers. Okay, I'm going to start with whole numbers. All right, whole numbers are all your counting numbers. All your counting numbers plus 0. So for example, 0, and then what can you count on your hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yada yada yada. Okay, those are your whole numbers. Okay, they're your counting numbers plus 0. But you're probably like, oh, Miss Clickman, what are your counting numbers? Okay, well, we call those natural numbers. Natural numbers are numbers you can count, okay, on your fingers. Okay, they're numbers you can count on your fingers. Can you count 0 on your fingers? No, you start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so you've got natural numbers, or also called counting numbers. They're numbers you can count on your fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, then you've got whole numbers, which are all your natural numbers, the numbers you can count on your fingers plus 0. Okay, then we have integers, and we learned about integers already. Integers are the set, it's a set of whole numbers, and their opposites. Okay, or you could say positive and negative whole numbers. Positive and negative whole numbers, whatever works best for you. So for instance, I've got -3. Well, what's the opposite of -3? 3. I've got -2. What's the opposite of -2? 2. -1 and 1, 0. We could keep going, Okay? It's just a whole number and its opposite. Those are integers, or positive and negative whole numbers. Remember, whole numbers don't have any decimals or fractions. Okay? Whole numbers have no decimals or fractions. I'll give you a second to copy that down. Okay, now let's talk about rational numbers. Rational numbers are basically any number that we talk about. They're natural numbers, they're whole numbers, they're integers, and they're also numbers with decimals and fractions, okay? So it's basically any number, okay? They can involve or include natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, decimals, and fractions. Okay? Rational numbers are basically any number. Natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, decimals, fractions. Okay? Any number that we're going to deal with in 6th grade math. Okay? It's going to be a rational number. So let's do some examples. If I asked you, and on this, I'm going to make a small little separate circle on here, and we're going to add natural numbers. Let's add natural numbers. Okay, natural numbers. So if I asked you, where would I put, let's see, the number 17? Okay, the number 17. Well, yes, 17 is a rational number. But let's start small. Is 17 a natural number? Is it a number I could count on my fingers? Well, yeah, I could get up to 17 on my fingers. So 17 would be a natural number. If 17 is in this small circle, that means it also is inside all these bigger circles, because you can see this small circle is inside all these bigger circles. Think of it as like an onion, the layers of an onion. Okay, the middle part of the onion is inside all these other layers, okay? So natural number 17 would be a natural number, it would be a whole number, it would be an integer, and it would also be a rational number. Okay, what about 0? Where would 0 go? 0. Well, is 0 a natural number? Is it a number I can count on my hands? Nope. But 0 is a whole number, right? Because whole numbers are all the counting numbers plus 0. So 0 would be a whole number. It would also be an integer and a rational number. Okay, let's see. What about the number 5? Okay, the number 5. Well, is number 5 a natural number? Yeah, it's a number I could count on my fingers. So 5 is a natural number. 5 is also a whole number. It's also an integer, okay, a positive or negative whole number. So therefore, it's also a rational number. What about negative 3? Well, is negative 3 a natural number? Is it a number I can count on my fingers? Nope, I can't have negative fingers. Is it a whole number? All the numbers I can count on my fingers plus 0? Nope. Okay, is it an integer? Yes, it's an integer. It's all the whole numbers and their opposites, or positive and negative whole numbers. So negative 3 would be an integer, which also makes it a rational number. So remember, whole numbers, come back over here. There are no negatives. No negatives. No negatives. Okay? Negatives are integers. All right, what about 1/2? 1/2, 1/2. Well, is that a natural number? Nope. It's definitely not a whole number. Okay, it's not an integer because integers are positive and negative whole numbers. Okay, and we said it's not a whole number, so that means it would be a rational number. Is it a fraction? Yep. Okay, so 1/2. What about negative 0.6? Negative 0.6. Well, it's not a natural number. It's not a number I can count on my fingers. It's not a whole number because 0.6 is not a whole number and it's a negative. Okay, so that doesn't work. It's not an integer because integers have to be whole numbers too, and it's a decimal. So it would be a rational number. Okay, basically any number. Negative 0.6. Okay, another example of a rational number could be 0.75. Okay, 0.75 is a rational number. It's not a natural number. It's not a whole number. It's not an integer. Okay, these all have to be whole numbers if you noticed. But it is a rational number because a rational number can be a decimal or a fraction. Okay, so those are just some examples of whole numbers for you. Of classifying rational numbers. We've got natural numbers, numbers you can count on your fingers. Whole numbers are all the numbers you can count on your fingers plus 0. Okay, remember no negatives. Okay, all positive numbers. Integers are the set of whole numbers and their opposites, or you could say positive and negative whole numbers. Okay, and then a rational number is basically any number. All right, they're your natural numbers, they're your whole numbers, they're your integers, and they include decimals and fractions. So this is a type of Venn diagram. Okay, as you can see, remember I said it's like an onion. Here's your middle part of your onion. Okay, And this layer of the onion also includes the middle part. This layer of the onion also includes these two parts, and this layer also includes these three parts. Okay? So that is classifying rational numbers.